Job interviews are difficult. Job interviews are stressful, right? You're worried about getting the job. Maybe you have some pressure. You need a job. You need more money. So there's that extra pressure, the extra stress. Then you have the person looking at you, right, with their pen, taking notes about your answers. That makes you even more nervous. And then if you must job interview in English, then super, super difficult and nervous. Very tough. So this is a tough thing to learn. It's a tough thing to be good at, but you need to practice. You need to improve your job interviewing skills because you will get better jobs. You will get more money. You'll have less stress in your life. Everything will be much better. Today we're talking about questions about past jobs. So for example, why did you leave your last job? Or why do you want to leave your current job? Other versions of this are, why did you change jobs so often? Maybe you have a lot of jobs in a short time, so they'll ask you about that. But these kind of questions about past jobs usually happen near the beginning of the interview. So it's usually early in the interview. They will ask you about your past jobs. They'll be looking at your resume, your CV, and they're looking at it, and they kind of start reviewing your past jobs, and they'll start asking you questions about them. So you want to make a good first impression, right? You want to start the interview strong. So let's talk about it. In general, you want to think like a salesperson, okay? You want to be different. Too many people, when they job interview, give the same kinds of answers. They're exactly the same with their resume. Their resume looks the same like everyone else. This is a bad way to think, right? Everybody reads books about making resumes, and they read books about job interviewing. And everybody's reading these same books, so everybody sounds the same. That's the opposite. You have to think like you are marketing yourself. You are selling yourself. And the first thing you need when you sell, or when you market, or when you advertise is attention. You must get their attention in a good way, right? Because this job interview, think about the interviewer, the person at the company. Maybe they're interviewing 10 people, maybe 20 people. If it's a big company, maybe like 30, 40, 50 people. And they're just coming in the door and they all sound basically the same. They're all kind of looking the same. They're giving the same kind of answers. It's kind of boring. If you want the job or a job offer, you've got to be different. You want to come in and immediately or very soon, very quickly, they think, oh, this person's different. How do you do that? How do you get that attention? That's the first step of marketing, sales, and advertising is attention. Get their attention. Well, you do it, first of all, you want to dress nicely, of course. You get it by being confident, looking them in the eyes, giving them a nice, good handshake, smiling, and being confident, which means to be strong and relaxed. To do this, you have to practice a lot, right? Because probably you're going to be nervous, so you need to practice, so you're less nervous than everyone else. If you're less nervous, they will notice. You'll get their attention immediately. Then they start the interview, they start chatting, and they start to ask you about your past jobs. So again, you're trying to sell yourself. You want to be different. You want to get their attention in a good way, and you want to get them interested in you. You want them to be thinking, oh, interesting, this person's interesting. This person's different than all the others. So, let's give some examples. What do they do? They're going to ask you about your past job. So, why did you leave your last job? Why do you want to leave your last job? What should you say? First, what should you not say? Do not say anything negative. Do not. Even if it's the truth, okay? Maybe your last job was boring. Maybe you hated your boss. Maybe, you didn't like your coworkers, the people you were working with. Don't say that, okay? Why not? Because it makes you sound negative. This is bad persuasion. Okay, if you talk about negative things, then the interviewer will start to imagine these negative situations. The interviewer will start to feel some negative emotions while they're interviewing you. At the same time, they are looking at you. And they will connect the bad, negative feelings to you. This is called association. I just did a VIP lesson about this for my VIP members, a very long lesson about how to use this in a good way. But the short answer is you need to avoid being negative. So don't say anything negative about your past jobs. Do not say anything negative about your past bosses, even if you hated them. You must be positive. That's fairly obvious. Next, so what should you say about your past job? You want to give fairly short answers. You don't need to talk a long time about this kind of question. This is a basic question in job interviews. You'll be asked this almost every interview. It's in the beginning. The interviewer they're not expecting long answers for these questions. Other questions, yes, but not this one. So they say, why did you leave your last job? So you want to talk about two things mostly, okay? Number one, you want to talk about what you learned at the last job. So this isn't exactly why are you leaving, right? You're actually saying something positive about the last job before you tell your reason. This is a nice little technique for answering these questions. So you don't have to only answer the question. Politicians do this on the news all the time. They ask one question, but they answer another question, okay? Well, you can play this game a little bit in job interviewing. You will answer the question, but before you answer the question, it gives you a chance to say something positive. So first, when you ask about a last job or a previous job, talk about what you learned at the job. Why? Well, it shows the interviewer that you are the kind of person who likes to learn, who wants to learn, who learns from experience, who learns at their job. Companies want these kinds of people. Okay? They do not want people. A lot of people think, the company wants to hire someone who already knows everything. They're already the super expert. That's not true. In fact, a lot of companies avoid those people. Because, see, every company has their own way to do things. So if you come in the job interview and you act like you already know everything, I know this, I'm perfect. Well, they might not hire you because they think, this person will not listen. This person will not learn. This person is not open to learning. So they are looking for openness to learning. Almost every company, almost every job, yes, they want you to be good, but they also want this openness to learning. So when you get a chance, talk about what you learned at the last job. This is a good opportunity right at the beginning. So they say, why do you want to leave the last job? In the first part, you say, well, I learned a lot at my last job. I learned a lot of good, I'll use myself as an example, as a teaching job. So I'll say, imagine I was teaching at a school, I'm changing. So I'd say, I learned a lot at my last job. I was teaching adult students from different countries. I learned how to teach students from many different countries, from many different cultures. And this helped me a lot. This helped me to be flexible. So I appreciate the last job because I really learned a lot. So you can see the first part of the question, my first part of the answer is talking about learning, and it's very positive. I'm being positive about my last job. Now, the second part, you want to answer the question directly. Why? Why did you leave? Or why are you leaving? And again, you want to avoid the negative. So there are some kind of acceptable reasons that you want to focus on. Number one would be location. If you want to move to a different location, maybe the new job is closer. Maybe the new job you want, the one you are trying to get, is in a better location for you. So that's easy. You could say, well, the reason I left or the reason I want to leave is just to be closer to my home, or because I wanted to live in a different city. So I needed to get a different job. No problem. That's a good answer. That will cause no problems. Another really good reason to say that you left a job is because you wanted to continue to grow and learn. When I was job interviewing a lot, I would use this reason a lot. I would give this answer a lot. So I would say, I learned a lot at my last job, and I give an example. Then I would say, and the reason I left was because I want to continue learning and growing. I felt like I wasn't learning anymore. I was not being challenged anymore. So I'm looking for a new challenge. I'm looking for new opportunities to grow. I'm looking for new opportunities to learn more, to improve more. And that's why I'm interviewing here. Okay, so you're looking to grow. You're looking to learn. That's a great reason to leave a past job. And if you already left that job, you could say, I left. I was wanting to grow, so I went to a different job and I got more skills. And now I'm interviewing with you because I feel this is a great new challenge, a good opportunity for me to grow, for me to learn.